Okay, so it has been a while. Obviously, I've had the lat tear. Training's been a bit off the last few weeks. I'm 4 weeks in now to recovery. Physio's given me the all clear to start training. I have to obviously be very careful with what I'm doing and very selective about what I'm doing, but I can actually start training now. So I've even started doing some light rows, things like that. It's more just to get blood moving through the area rather than actually really lifting hard. But yeah, it's all part of the recovery process. So anyway, that's where we're at the moment. It's Christmas Eve and I decided I'm going to do a leg session. I've done a couple of squat sessions with a safety bar. I'm going to work up a little bit heavier today. The heaviest I've gone is like 155 so far. I'm actually going to try and go without the box. I've been doing box squats for a while just because it helps my knees a little bit. For me, obviously it's great for generating that power at the bottom. I've switched gyms for a while. I'm back at Crayford because it's got more variety for me to actually train in terms of machines and stuff. So while I'm rehabbing, this is like the perfect place to be. That in turn, the box that they've got here is a little bit higher than I'd want it to be for doing my squats. So I'm going to try and squat without the box today. Now my depth is not going to be good, so before you even feel the need to comment on my squat depth in the comments, I know it's not going to be good, but I'm going to work on it and see where we can get to. I'm hoping to get up to about 180 today on the safety bar, see how the lat feels, because obviously I am going to be loading it a little bit. So yeah, that's where we're at. Time to start warming up, start squatting and go from there. So we're set one, 70 kilos, well 72 kilos I believe, 22 kilo bar and 25 on each end. Okay, so a little bit tight now. So especially my left quad feels a little bit tight for some reason, but we won't worry about that. We'll just keep going, see where we get up to and go from there. So what I'm going to do today is, because I'm just sort of feeling it out, I'm going to do quite a lot of sets, so they're not going to be big jumps. I normally do like 40, 50 kilo jumps between sets, so I'm going to jump a little bit smaller than that and do a lot more sets, just so I can feel the weight and see how the lat feels. I don't want to jump too big and then it feel like shit. So yeah, that's basically what I'm going to do. So I'm not going to do as many reps, but I'm going to do on each set. I'm going to do a lot more sets. So just while I'm doing my sort of in between set bit, the missus is going for an 85 kilo bench for 5 reps, which will be a PB. She started the strength block. I've been helping her a bit with her strength training, and so far she's gone from an 87.5 kilo bench up to, she did, well today she's doing 85 for sets of 4. It's been in the last 11 weeks. She was doing deadlifts yesterday and basically doing 5 reps with her old 1 rep max from 11 weeks ago. So I'm just gonna try and catch a bit of her doing that in a second. Just getting herself ready. But yeah, she's been doing some strength training. She's always done like bodybuilding type training, never really pushed her strength, but she's made some unbelievable progress in the last 11 weeks, just by focusing on trying to be stronger rather than sort of doing that hypertrophy, pushing to failure, sort of doing more periodised compound movements, and her strength's absolutely rocketing. But it's quite incredible to see actually. She'll bench 100 kilos soon, which is pretty impressive for a woman that weighs 70 kilos, and she's not particularly well built for bench pressing either. She's got really long arms and stuff, so not excessively long, she's just very tall. So yeah, she's getting really strong, but I'll show you in a second when she starts. 85 for 4 hopefully. This is the first set of 3 sets. Happy? Yeah, so there you go. Her old 1 rep max, like I said 11 weeks ago, was 87.5, and yeah, she's now doing 85 for sets of 4, so 11 weeks difference. So like I said, it's sometimes just, you just got to focus on getting stronger in terms of like lifting heavier weights, periodising your training, stuff like that, rather than just going to failure all the time. I think you've got sort of almost got to look at it as like 2 stages, where when you're strength training, you have sort of, if you're breaking it down into blocks, and you'd have like a hypertrophy block first. That's kind of like, imagine you've got a glass and you're trying to make, and the glass is full, you've then got to build some muscle, as in make the glass bigger, to then fill it up some more. So although she's not done any strength training specifically, she's obviously been trying to progress her lifts and everything else. But kind of like she's done this massive hypertrophy block of like getting stronger and stronger, getting sort of bigger and bigger in terms of muscle mass. She's now trying to maximise the capacity of strength within that muscle that she's got, and yeah, she's obviously making great progress, getting strong very quickly because she's got a lot of muscle mass. You know, there's a lot more capacity to get stronger. I think sometimes people sort of spend too much time worrying about building muscle and not actually strength training, and then typically a lot of people spend too much time trying to get stronger and not enough building muscle. When you sort of look at a bigger muscle has got more capacity to be stronger, you've just got to teach it to be stronger. So I think it's good to separate into blocks where you're sometimes building muscle and sometimes building strength. Obviously if you're a competitive strong man or strong woman, doing the muscle building in the off season and then trying to maximise the strength within that muscle during sort of like the peak into the season is kind of the way to do it. But obviously that's a bit different for every individual. I think there's some good strong men that could sort of, you know, would pay them to take a couple of months off competing, build some muscle and focus on sort of that for a little while and then try and maximise that strength. And then there's some strong men that also do the other, where they're constantly building muscle and doing well in that respect, but they're not spending enough time actually focusing on getting strong. So I think you can do it as a combination to an extent, but I think if you want to maximise the growth, do it as a separate block, and if you want to maximise the strength, do that as a separate block. But you do need to do both throughout the season. Okay, so next set we're doing 112. So let's see how this goes. So I noticed when I was doing that last set, if I didn't keep myself very upright, I could feel it in my lat a little bit. So I've just got to protect myself a little bit. try and keep myself a bit more upright. Kind of when I was going over, I could feel the tension through that lat a little bit, which is obviously not what I want at the moment. And it's all right to put a bit of tension through it because I think it's good for like recovery, getting some blood moving through it. You do have to sort of stress things a little bit, but not to the point where it's dangerous. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. Not too bad. Okay, so I'm going by feel a little bit, obviously at the moment. No like programming as such in terms of like periodising my training. I'm just taking each session as it comes and being very careful. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to sit at, this is 172 next set, and I'm going to do 5 sets of, I think probably 3, but again, I'll take each set as it comes, see how the lat feels. As long as I keep my form good and I keep myself in a good position and I'm safe, obviously it's not a problem. I've noticed that like when the muscle gets a bit fatigued, it does weird things. It kind of moves in directions like I don't want it to. Like when I'm doing rows and stuff, sort of I can be really controlled, but as soon as it gets a bit fatigued, it kind of just moves a bit weird. Obviously where there's that bit of scar tissue and everything else that I'm working on getting broken down, yeah, it's just not firing properly. So I'm going to sit at that, yeah, so it'll be 172, sets of 2 to 3 reps, 5 sets of that, and we'll go from there. Obviously, as you can see, it's not hard, but I'm just trying to get some stimulus, that's all, at the moment. Obviously, I'm not going to worry about killing myself. This is like the first proper full week of training back, where I'm doing everything, so I've got to be very, very sensible about what I do. Just stimulate a little bit, recover, move into the next session. Kind of this is a big thing with strength training. Yes, that's a bit light, but sometimes just doing the movement gets you doing it again. It's sort of, you can still make progress even if you're not necessarily going heavy by practicing the movement and just getting the feel of it. So at the moment, it's just dipping my toe back in, making sure everything feels okay, and going from there. Anyway, I'm going to move on after these to trap bar deadlifts. I won't show you the rest of my sets, but it will be 5 sets of 3. Obviously, that's the first set done. I won't bore you with all 5 sets. Basically, all going to look the same as that. So I'm going to move on to trap bar deadlifts, which now, obviously, like I said, I've got to be very careful because I am actually going to be loading that lat. So to start with, will probably literally be maybe 80 kilos and see how it feels. Okay, so trap bar deadlifts. The bar here weighs 40 kilos, nice heavy one. You can actually fit a lot of weight on it as well. So I'm going to start with a 15 on each end. So 70 kilos. We go from there. I might actually push it up to 100 and just see how it feels. Obviously, lat depending, but yeah, it's feels all right. I just picked up 70 kilos. Don't feel any problem. Feel like I can put myself in a position to not overreach with that lat as well. So I think this could be quite a good exercise for me to do, sort of teaching me to sort of keep that lat tight and keep that sort of all engaged, so I'm never in a compromised position, which I sometimes get into when I'm deadlifting. sometimes because of the way I deadlift, where I use a lot of sort of posterior chain in terms of like glutes, hamstrings, stuff like that, I have quite high hips, which then sometimes can put you in a little bit of a sort of overreach position through the lats. So it's something that I need to work on a little bit, just getting them hips a little bit lower. So I think this could help me improve that in terms of from a technical point of view when I move back to proper deadlifts again. Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so here we go. 100 kilos. So what I'm trying to do is just focusing on keeping that lat tight. What I was saying about not getting into sort of this position where I'm overextending, because that was what happened with my deadlift when I tore my lat. One, I was dehydrated to hell. I've got my Beast Hydro with me. Just to make sure I'm constantly hydrated is something that I've been on top of since the tear. But like I said, bad technique, overexertion, not sticking to my plan, dehydrated and travelling as well. Back from Norway, been flying the day before. It's not a good combination. So if I'd have given myself an extra day or two's rest, hydrated myself properly, and then stuck to the plan, probably wouldn't have torn my lat. So it's my own fault. I always say I'm very good at giving other people advice on what they should and shouldn't be doing in training and sticking to the plan and everything else. But me, along with everyone else, I'm not very good at sticking to it. The only time I'm ever good at sticking to it is if I'm being coached by someone. I've had like a number of good coaches over the years. I always do as I'm told, but when I'm programming myself, I do have a tendency to go off plan. So yeah, it's just the way I am, unfortunately. Bit of an idiot sometimes. Anyway, right, okay. Just leave it there, won't push too much today. I'll do another few sets of that. Not, like I said, I'm not trying to push anything even close to failure. I'm just getting used to doing the movements again. I'm focusing on making sure I get some blood in the areas I need to. Nothing more than that at the moment. It's more for, being back in the gym's more for me from a mental point of view to keep myself, you know, keep my mind in a good place. When you're injured, it's very easy to get into a slump, especially if you're not in the gym. So I like to be in doing something, even if it's not exactly what I want to be doing, just to keep my mind occupied. Anyway, felt all right. It's the last thing. We're going goblet squat, kettlebell goblet squat into dumbbell RDLs. Nothing crazy. Like I said, again, just easing myself back in. Just want to get this done. It's Christmas Eve. Don't need to do too much. It's actually really hectic in here as well. So just gonna get these sets done. Don't know exactly how many reps I'm going to do on each, somewhere around 15 to 20 as a superset, and then I'm done. So 3 sets of that. Just get into it. Miserable. Oh, I did not enjoy that. Anyway, yeah, another couple of sets of that and then I'm done. Okay, so that is session done. Nothing too crazy, like I said, it's more about sort of just getting sessions in, ticking boxes, doing movements. So this is the first week, like I said, the way I'm back doing everything. So I deadlifted 60 kilos day before yesterday, you know, back bench pressing, stuff like that. So it's more about just doing the movements and making sure they feel all right, and then gradually progress them up from there. But things are looking good. Everything's moving in the right direction, and yeah, physio's happy with where I'm at in terms of rehab and stuff. So yeah, now gonna go and finish off my Christmas shopping and wind down, ready to stuff my face with loads of food tomorrow. I've been under eating all week to prepare myself so I can just completely relax on Christmas Day and not worry about the calories and the overeating. But anyway, one last thing on my coaching at the moment, till the end of December, I'm doing a month free. So if you want to sign up to my coaching, and that is full, everything is absolutely just bespoke to you as an individual, whether that's strongman, want to get in shape, bodybuilding, any of those sort of things that I coach. If you're interested in being coached by me, obviously in the new year I'm going to be inundated with new people, so it might be handy for you to get in before the end of the new year, and you also get a month for free. So you get to try before you buy. If you don't like it, don't feel like we're a good fit, anything else, it doesn't cost you anything. So like I said, that offer's there. Just head over to www.terryhollandscoaching.com, fill out the form, and my team will get back to you. And then after that, obviously, if you want to go ahead, get you set up, get your plans over. Like I said, everything's personalised to you as an individual, diet, training, everything. We do weekly check-ins, vid reviews. You can ask me questions, you can message me on a day-to-day basis. So all of that for a month for free, but you've got to sign up before the end of December. Like I said, if you're interested, head over to the website and get yourself signed up. Anyway, I hope you all have a good Christmas and a happy new year, but hopefully I will be back filming more YouTubes in the very near future.